What's up, my friends? Rob Beal, the Holistic Renegade here, and I want to take you through a little foot mini training today. My question for you is, how do your feet feel? Do they feel supple and free and easy, able to do everything that you want them to do, or do they feel stiff? Do they occasionally hurt and have you scratching your head wondering like, why do my feet feel so bad? Are you afraid to walk around barefoot because the arch might cramp up on you? Do they just feel kind of stuck? The reality is that's where most people are. And think about this. We wear casts on our feet all day, almost every day. And if you're unlucky, like most of us are, from the day that you start walking, those casts were put on your feet. And then we take them out of those and we wonder why they hurt so much. Why don't they move? Why are they so inflexible? And envision this. Envision that you had a whole body cast on, or a half body cast from your hips all the way up to your shoulders, just supporting your spine. It was one of those plastic ones where you're belted and strapped in so you can't really move. And you walked around in that for 2 weeks, 2 months, a year. And then you're also a big basketball fan, so you're trying to play basketball in that. And you're just like, I can't really move very well. That's what we're doing to our feet. But then imagine this. Imagine that you take that cast off after 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, and then you try and go do those things. And just how unsupported, how noodly does your body feel? That is what we're asking our feet to do. Our feet don't have the strength, they don't have the flexibility, they don't have the stability and the mobility that ensues from those things because we wear casts on them all the time. And here's one really cool thing. Your feet have 26 bones, 33 joints, 4 layers of muscle, and they even have their own core. And yes, that core supports everything all the way up your body. And by putting them in casts, none of those things work. How do you think your feet move? If you're like most people, you probably think that they move like this, and that's it. But with all those joints, all those muscles, all those connections, your feet are designed for a range of motion that far exceeds anything else in your body, and capability that far exceeds that too. And if you're anything like me, you're sick and tired of your feet hurting all the time. So we're gonna do a couple basic things, a little bit of foot yoga, just to get your feet open, to start the process of restoring them to their highest potential. And my rule for you is for 1, every minute that have your feet in shoes, or every minute that you're sitting, or every minute that you're standing, or every hour that you're sitting, every hour you have your feet in shoes, or every hour that you are up on your feet, you get 1 minute of foot mobility work every single day. That's my rule for you working out of this. In Men's Yoga Transformation, that's my signature program to unleash the power, the potential of men in body, mind, and spirit. And this is one of our biggest rules. Every hour that you're under or overusing a muscle, bone, or joint, or area or joint, that's how many minutes that you have to work on that every single day. And so 1, you restore capability to that area, but 2, you stop doing the things that are causing the problem, because that's really the number 1 thing. So 1, wear shoes less. Don't just go cold turkey and stop, but start wearing them less. 2, I want you to go get a ball. Pause me, go get a ball. Could be a lacrosse ball, could be a baseball, could be a softball, could be a golf ball. And if you don't have a ball, I want you to go get a rolling pin or anything that you can put your foot on top of and really massage it. Anything that is somewhat round that you can get some pressure on. Even if you got kids, like a little block, a little stacking block or something like that, it's gonna hurt, but you should be okay. And then come back, press play, and let's go. And if you're here right now, let's start working on your feet. 1, we're gonna take our foot. We're gonna start with our right foot. In yoga, we always start with the right side, almost always. We're gonna take our fingers, we're gonna grab that big toe and that second toe. We're gonna pull that big toe up towards the top of your foot until you feel a little stretch there. And then we're gonna pull that second toe down. We're gonna wiggle them around a little bit, just giving a little bit of toe yoga stretch to them. And then after you feel complete there, we're gonna change directions. Pull that big toe down, you're gonna feel a big stretch to the top of that toe. Pull that second toe up. A little stretch, a little wiggle. And then we're just gonna work down. Second toe and third toe. 1 down, 1 up. A little stretch, a little wiggle. And then switching directions on it. Maybe it's 3 seconds, maybe it's a full breath. You get to pick today, nothing too crazy. Working all the way down to that pinky toe, moving with me. The feet are this crazy feat of natural engineering, just nature, of adaptation. And even the best engineers on the planet cannot replicate an artificial human foot with all the capabilities that it has, with all of those bones, joints, layers of muscle, and that core. Once you get down to that pinky toe, work back up to the big toe. And yeah, we put them in casts all day long. We underutilize them. A lot of people forget that they're there. We just kind of stomp on them. We walk really hard. Think about how much that would hurt if you were barefoot, you were walking that hard, or even running that hard. Once you get back up to that big toe and you're done, we're gonna splay. We're gonna do the toe spreader. So we're gonna take your right hand. This will help you open up the toes. Open up that pinky toe and that fourth toe. Pinky finger, we're gonna slide in there. You might not get all the way in today. You might just barely get your finger in there. That's okay. Use that right hand to open up the fourth and third toe. That ring finger goes in there. Middle finger between your third and second toe. Pointer finger between your big toe and second toe. And then we're just gonna roll this around for about 30 seconds. You can try to splay those fingers open and then let them close. Roll those toes up and down, stretching them out. So today, you're making that commitment to restore your feet. If you want your body to feel good, start with your feet. Take care of them. Make love to your feet every day, even if it's for 2 minutes. When you're ready, let's release that. We're gonna take that left hand to the outside edge of that foot. The right hand's gonna come to the inside edge. You're grabbing the ball of your foot here, and we're gonna wring this thing out like a towel. Just a little massage here. One, and then we're switching directions. Pull one side down, the other side up. Just gonna do this 5 times. Your midfoot should be able to cup like your hand. Most people can't do that, and that's okay. We're just getting started here. And once you finish that, let's release that foot. And let's switch to the other side. Just one. Move those toesies around. Notice how that foot feels. And then let's cross this left foot over. Let's go fingers to big toe and second toe. We're just gonna do those stretches. Pulling one down, the other one up. Ooh, it feels a little stiff today. And then switching directions with those toes. Little wiggles. Working all the way down until we get to that pinky toe. Now we're hanging out here. And I really used yoga as my modality for helping to unleash the potential of men and warrior women and their bodies, their minds, and their spirits. And everything that we do in yoga is on top of that foundation of the feet. So if your feet are not functioning well, then you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your little piggies here to get down there, to work on them, to bring freedom and ease to them, because that's going to improve your entire practice, your asana practice, your breath work, your stress. Once you get down to that pinky toe, work back up to that big toe. The muscles in the bottom of your feet are linked to the muscles in your pelvic floor. That's that space between your pubic bone and tailbone. When that's clutched, when that's stressed, so is your jaw and your face. When your jaw is stressed, so is your neck and your shoulders. And that physical stress leads to mental and emotional stress too. So we just start by working on your feet. You're gonna start opening everything else up. Once you get up to that big toe, we're gonna do the toe spreader. Use that left hand to help you get those fingers in there. They might go all the way in today, they might not. And then, oh, there we go. We're gonna spread those fingers out. We're gonna close them. We're just gonna roll that foot around. Do the same thing on the other side. Feels real good. And you very likely have one hand where your fingers are thicker than the other. So one side's gonna be more challenging, more uncomfortable than the other. But that one could just be, you got a tight foot. Left foot might be more tight than the right. My fingers on my right hand are thicker than the fingers on my left. Handedness, more muscularity. So this side is more comfortable or uncomfortable because of that as well. Once we finish that, let's release that. Let's take that right hand to the outer edge of that left foot, left hand to the inner edge. We're just gonna wring this thing out like a towel. 5 little rings. You might get some clicks, some pops. That's a nice little thing there that we get. And once you finish all 5 of those, send that foot out. Let's just spread those toesies out. Curl them up. Spread them out, curl them up. Let's just do 5 of these. Lift them up like you're going to touch your shins, and then curl them under. You can even plantar flex through your feet like you're pointing your little toes. Let's take 5 of them. Ooh, now we're going to take that ball that I sent you to get. I'm going to pop up to your feet. I'm going to back you up here so you can see me in my fullness as much as possible anywhere. We're going to take that ball, that block, whatever you got. We're just going to roll for 2 little minutes. First, we're going to get that ball on the arch of your foot, in line with that big toe. And once you're there, gentle pressure. We're going to roll from that big toe straight back towards the heel, just following that line of the big toe. Put as much pressure as you can without causing pain, because I don't want you to clench up. I want just enough pressure that is right below that edge where you can still breathe deeply. And then we're going to follow that line up to the second toe. Get some pressure on there. You can even try and just stand on it. Rolling back towards the heel. From the heel rolling up towards that third toe. Take your time. 1 inch per second is a nice little rolling speed. Really start to draw out your exhales. What that does is it really initiates the relaxation response via your parasympathetic nervous system. And when that happens, you give permission to your muscles to actually relax. So let's use that little biohack. Rolling towards that heel, rolling towards that pinky toe. And now we're going to plant that heel, get that ball right underneath the ball of your foot by the arch. We're just going to windshield wiper back and forth. So we're going to roll, ground that heel, rolling out towards the inner edge of that foot, rolling your foot out towards the right. And then we're going to wiper across towards the outside edge of that foot. And we'll roll back to center. We'll roll back 1 little inch even towards the heel. And then we'll windshield wiper again. Just right to left, noticing where do I need more help. And then when you're rolling for your 1 minute per every hour of over or under use, then you know where you want to spend more time, what you want to breathe into. And then once you get close to that heel, we're going to ground into the ball of the foot, and we're going to roll windshield wiper over the arch where it meets your heel. Here's a little trivia for you. How many arches do you have in your foot? What do you think? I'll let you think about it while we're rolling out here. And once we're done with that, release. Let's switch over to the other side, getting that ball, that block, whatever, underneath the arch of that left foot. We'll just start rolling front to back, from big toe back towards that heel. From that heel back towards the second toe. And if you're like, hey, this is a lot to stand on my feet and do this, sit down. Sit down in a chair where you can ground your feet and get that ball underneath there. Coming back from trivia time, you actually have 4 arches in your foot. You have the lateral outside arch. You have your medial arch, that inner arch, which is what most people think about. You have your anterior arch, the front arch where the ball of the foot is. And then you have a posterior arch as well in front of that heel. I talked to you before, 26 bones, 33 joints, 4 layers of muscle, 1 foot core, 4 arches. There's so much happening in the foot if you allow it to happen, if you take time to open it back up and restore that ease. Let's ground that foot, get that ball underneath the arch of that foot. Let's windshield wiper back and forth, left to right, right to left. Oh yeah. Feels great, doesn't it? Taking your time, you know where we're going now. We'll work up to that heel. We'll work back. Oh, yes, feels so good. And then we'll ground through the ball of that foot, rolling over the posterior part of that arch near the heel. My MYT, my men's yoga transformation warriors, I call them foot ninjas, when they're really working on their feet like this. In fact, we had one warrior who had challenges with his lower limbs, his feet, from being a small kid. He even wore braces on his lower legs. And we were able to, through this work, through some targeted yoga, Make him strong and stable to the point where he, as an adult, is the badass, able to support himself and come to these practices when necessary, when things are feeling a little overworked. So, let's release that foot. Just stand on those feet. Let's actually ground through the balls of your feet and your heels. Lift all 10 toes up. And let's see, can you just set your big toe down? That in itself helps to open up the arch of your foot. You might feel like you're going to cramp there. It's okay, you can release it. And then we'll relax. Ooh, pedal into those heels, those ankles. We're going to do that again. Lift all 10 toes up, ground into the balls of your feet. Notice how your weight shifts back. This is where you're supposed to be standing with unlocked knees. Can you set those big toes down? And now, can you keep the middle toes up as you set your pinky toes down too? Now we're grounding through front, back, left, or inside and outside arches. And then relax. Pedal into those heels. Let's do that 3 more times. Lift those toes up. Ground big toes and pinky toes. You can even play around with just picking your big toes up. That's a lot of work. I have damage on my left foot, so it's really hard for me. But that is where my work is. Relax. 2 more times here. Lift those toes up. Ground through big toe, pinky toe. It's one of the first things we teach in yoga when we stand up on your feet, is how to ground through those feet. Relax. Those toes up. I think this is number 4. Big toe down, pinky toe down. Ooh. Relax. And some of your toes in the nervous system might be linked together. So you might be like, hey, it's really hard for me to ground my big toe without my second toe, or my pinky toe without my 4th toe coming down. And that's all right. Spread those toes out as much as you can. Relax. And that, my friends, is it. Let's bring that right foot behind you, pressing to the top of that foot. Ooh, stretching in the top of that foot. Wiggle it around a little bit. Let's take the same thing on the other side. Ooh, yeah. And that's it for today. That's my foot mini training for you. If you want to know more, drop into the comments. Let me know, how do your feet feel at the end of this? What did this awaken within you? How did this resonate with you? And how are you going to use this? Because it's not worth me doing it if you're not going to use it. Again, for every 1 hour that you're under or overusing your feet through having them in shoes, sitting, or standing on them all day, you get 1 minute of footwork every single day. If you're just like, hey, I want something small, 2 minutes a day, twice a day, rolling that foot out, and that should go a long way for you. Do it for 2 weeks and then let me know what happens. Thank you for being here, and you have an awesome day. Please like this, share this, subscribe to my channel, and let me know what else you want to see. See ya next time. Bye.